Listen up, cluckheads.
You're listening to Whiskey and Whine
with Rooster and
the Madman, where we talk about common sense, current events,
the Constitution,
and morals, while comparing drinks of yesteryear to drinks of today.
So sit back, relax, leave us a comment.
Here comes Whiskey and Whine.
Overlord, you know, he's starting to talk more about this new special lady.
He ain't got no lady. That dude's a clucking liar.
I'm sitting right here.
Yeah. I can just imagine how that would go.
I'm sitting right here.
I haven't seen him in so long. It's almost like I can hear his voice mixed in with the whimpering and screams from the dungeon.
I'm sitting right here. Yellow card.
Oh, look at that. Look who's here with us today.
It's amazing that the one
the
night,
Overlord himself.
It's the Overlord himself. It's amazing that the one night that the morals couldn't be here, all of a sudden, mysteriously and magically, the Overlord just appears.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, this is for you.
Thank you.
Welcome back, cluckheads. And the Overlord.
I don't think Overlord's actually been with us whenever we were recording since
I have once.
January.
He's been with us. Yeah, he's
no,
been
I'm
with us
saying
once.
since
this year, no.
Since January, yeah.
Yeah.
He's always got some excuse like, I'm working, or
I couldn't make bail.
or no, the warrant's still out, stuff like that.
I'm stuck in this tree outside this woman's house.
Give me about 4 hours, the light should go off.
You make a ladder.
Bring a chainsaw.
But anyway, so it's good. It's good to have you as always.
It's always good, man. It's always good.
It's always good.
Yeah, I think the last time we recorded with you,
it was right before I went on vacation.
We did the live episode.
Well, yeah.
At Christmas. It was right before Christmas. We did the live episode, remember?
No.
I think it was the last time.
There was one after that because it was right before that I went on Shipwrocked.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It was the night that we did the moonshine tasting.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Not the Budweiser Christmas special.
That was the
that was live.
That was the live one.
Yeah. But anyway, speaking of some of our favorite beers, it's time for week number 3 of our Oktoberfest. Yes.
It's the greatest time of year.
It is. Okay, so here's my thing. We had to miss last week, which was unfortunate. But here's what I'm thinking. You know how they started Oktoberfest? Technically the last weekend in September, like in places like Fort Worth for their...
It's like starting Christmas early. The Christmas decorations are already out.
So why don't we just make up last week by going an extra week into November?
We can do whatever we want because this is Oktoberfest.
It is Oktoberfest.
The second annual.
The second annual Oktoberfest.
So, I mean, it's good stuff.
So, without having our American Honky Tonk Bar Association person here, we're just going to wing this. So once again, just like I'm
the Rooster. I'm always winging stuff.
Careful how you say that.
So many things I want to say to that right now, man. I'm just not going to.
I've been married for 30 years.
That's why your beak's so low.
Would you look at that beak?
So so just like what you did last time, how we each had one. So we have 3 that we're going to go back and forth on. So I'm going to start it with this one that looks very fancy. Has it like that Art Deco type look to it. It's called Big D Jamboree. And it's named after the Dallas revered barn dance radio program that debuted in the fall of 1948. It is a hybrid of a Marzen and a traditional, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Our Oktoberfest has a balanced, nutty caramel.
It's nutty.
It's nutty. But it's got a nutty caramel flavor and aroma of freshly baked bread. Medium bodied and auburn colored, this lager will fit any fall I don't know what that word is again. So we're just, you know what? Cluck it.
Big word. We don't like them on this show.
It's made here in historic downtown off Commerce Street, down in the Design District. I'm trying to find out what, I don't even know what
It's very Art Deco.
It's very Art Deco, yeah.
Meets the original coat of arms color.
So it's 6.3% alcohol by volume. Now let's go ahead and do our crack test here. Not too bad.
I thought you meant like the Hunter Biden crack test.
No. Hold on, I need to check my laptop. I mean, what? No. All right, let's do the Sleepy Joe Biden sniff test.
Smells like a good beer.
Yeah, smells great.
That actually smells just like a really good Oktoberfest.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing outstanding for it, but I mean, it's not skunk.
Okay,
It's what it should be.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here I go again on my pour. It's got a really nice color to it.
It does.
It does.
That has got it's darker than a Shiner.
Yeah, we'll see if I can't match that color later.
Someone's a wee bit dehydrated. All right.
Hey.
So let's go ahead and see what yours is.
Yeah,
here.
so going in for mine, I'm going to be covering the Hop Sting Brewing Company, their 3113 local Oktoberfest style lager. It is going to be a 6% alcohol. The can is obviously a play on the colors.
Yeah, it's a play
of
on the
original
coat of arms.
It's not the right colors, but you know, it's,
no, there is one of the coat of arms that's
Is it
blue. That's the double.
Yeah, 'cause I
Remember
always thought
we had one last year that was the double blue.
Oh yeah, okay. So, but it's not the traditional.
No, the traditional is the one Overlord
This is the
has.
white and the blue. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one I
But this
have.
was pretty cool because it's got the fireman axis crossing on there. So I'm assuming the local 313 or 3113 is probably a fire station. You know, kind of a deal. Yeah, it says it's all on there. So I didn't bring my reading glasses because I'm old. You know, that's really tiny.
You did hit 50.
I did hit 50.
All right, so we're gonna crack this boy
so let's
open.
crack this bad boy open.
This one was a much crisper crack than the other one.
It was.
Yeah, ready?
All right, let's do the Sleepy Joe Biden sniff test. This one's much more aromatic.
Yeah, that's a great smell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead and
that's
pour
a
it.
great smell.
Pour yours. Let's see how this. I'd be one to bet.
I mean, the
that this
last one
one's
was a
not
good
quite
smell,
as
but this
dark.
one stands out a little bit more on
It's
the
more
smell.
aromatic for sure. That's got a really nice color.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a good
That's
color. That's a
color,
good
yeah.
Oktoberfest.
You know what? Let's compare those two.
Yeah.
The designer is much darker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The designer is much darker. All right. Do you
Your turn, Overlord.
Are you able to read, or do I need to write it out in crayon for you?
Chalk, please.
Chalk. Okay.
Okay. So I have the Oak Highland Brewery Oktoberfest. It's a Marzen style lager. It comes in a white can with the blue, I guess.
It's a play on the. It's a
Yeah,
play on
it's
the
the coat
crest.
arms.
The crest, the traditional crest.
And it's a pretty nice looking little can. So let's crack it open.
5.8. So
Yeah.
Not
so far the most crisp crack was the
the Hop Sting.
3113.
Yeah, the Hop Sting is owning the cracking noise. Wow,
It's still got a great
that's
smell.
a good one, but I'm thinking I still like the Hop Sting.
I think that the 3113 is probably the best smelling one so far. But you know what? We have been fooled many times. We have been fooled many times with the one that smelled good.
Yeah.
But we've never been fooled on the ones that smell like they were skunked. Those.
I think this one
Those
might be the
noises are
lightest.
bad.
Leave my Steel Reserve out of this.
Oh no, that wasn't skunk, dude. That was
straight up cluck hole.
That was
that smelled like Bigfoot's cluck.
Oh, that smelled like
so this one actually has
penitentiary.
This one actually has almost the same coloring as the
it's a little lighter though.
3113, but it's just a little bit lighter.
It's just a little bit lighter.
So far, I definitely have the darkest one.
Yeah.
So you know what? Let's. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm mainly trying to do it to make sure that I don't get red carded or you don't get red carded posthumously.
It sounded taller when you opened it.
Yeah, but did you notice how deep and wide it was?
It was vast.
Okay, well, let me get the timer up and going her. And we will get jumping into topics. So let's go ahead and start with this.
Episode 67. Going to get these topics going.
Wait, we didn't even do the whole
I don't think
thing.
we talked. What episode?
Welcome back, Cluckheads.
No, I did that one already. You just want to say it. No one buys it.
He never gets to say it. So
he never gets to say it.
You know who we are. You know what we do. Current events,
common sense,
Constitution, and morals-ish.
Not here today.
But, she made...
But it's okay. The Overlord is taking her place, so that's got to go well.
Because that's never been an issue before.
The guy owns his own dungeon. It's going to be our moral police on this.
Remember the live episode where that later we get text messages? We need to talk. I'm not mad, but I am disappointed. Oh, that hurts even worse. Just be mad.
Well, it could be like one of those times. It wasn't one of our recordings when we just got together and we got the ringmaster text us the next morning. Anybody else wake up at 4:00 still drunk?
No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That was that night that we gave them all the bad tequila, wasn't it?
It was the night we took over the Kentucky Deluxe.
It was the Kentucky Deluxe and that Montezuma
and the
Gold.
Montezuma Gold.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, that was bad.
That was bad.
Reminds me, I got some. What was it? The vanilla, the Burnett's.
The Burnett's, yeah.
I got some Burnett's.
We got some Burnett's
in the
vodka
studio,
for you.
so that way when you're hosting some of those musicians over for the interviews, you could treat them right.
To see if you ever get a band in that you just really want to leave.
Yeah,
guys, hold on, I got some Burnett's.
Hold on, I got something for you right now. Tour of the dungeon and some Burnett's vanilla vodka.
That's weird. Why is that cut out of John Kerry in here? Why did the lights go out?
Why does that cut out have a red ball in his mouth?
That's the keep
what happens
quiet.
in the dungeon stays in the dungeon.
It's the squeals from the dungeon.
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you what. So grab the Jamboree.
Oh yes, I'm on the wrong beer.
Yeah, you're on the wrong one. Grab your Jamboree. I know that it's so massive in girth that it's probably hard to. It
does look bigger in my hand.
We got our Oktober clinkage going on. Oh, that is good.
Oh,
that is good.
Oh, that's good.
Once it hits your lips,
that's a good beer.
So good.
It's good.
I think I like that better than Shiner. We still need to do the Tups to Shiner though.
But I mean, this is Oktoberfest, so Shiner's just a straight box. So yeah.
Mm. I meant the Shiner one that we did like though.
Oh, the Shiner Oktoberfest. Yeah.
So,
all right, Jagoman, my go-to Shiner.
All right, you want to start topic number one? You want me to?
What was topic number one?
I'll start it. It's midterms.
You go ahead. This one's a gift that keeps on giving, like an STD.
Oh my gosh! So first off, I am not for a one-party system whatsoever. I believe that checks and balances are there for a reason.
Well, they're designed for a reason.
If the left keeps playing the cluck around, they're going to feel real prickly on the insides come this midterm election.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to find out. They clucked around. We're going to find out. I mean, that's really the best way to say it.
Did you see the Fetterman Dr. Oz debate?
So
the only debate before midterm.
Well, let me put it this way. So Fetterman, I think he's running for Senate against Dr. Oz, and they're trying to make sure that they have that seat that flips Democrat on that one. So the debate was just a train wreck. They thought they went into it with a lead, or they probably did have a lead.
Well, he's just a good working man.
And Fetterman looks like a blue-collared worker, like a guy who's been working really hard.
Yeah, he started off in the coal mines and he worked himself up.
And he goes, after he leaves the steel mill outside of Pittsburgh, he's hitting the local pub. He's drinking beers with his buddies off the shift.
That's what he's doing.
No, he's never actually worked. No, that's not true at all.
You're clucking with me.
He grew up a very rich, he didn't make his money. His dad made all his money. And there's nothing wrong with it. I wish I had a rich daddy.
Yeah.
But I ain't get one of those. I got the opposite of that. I got that poor guy who just drugged me with him being poor.
Daddy, I don't want to go to work today with you. Shut up. I don't have the money for a babysitter.
Yeah. So, hey, Dad, can we have my ankle reset? It's broken. What's wrong with you, boy?
Put some popsicle sticks on it. Yeah. But the thing is that I understand he's had a stroke.
Yes.
And they say that he is mentally fit. They say that he just has problems with reading and writing and communicating, which is pretty important for the Senate.
You're going to be a Senate, and you have troubles with reading, writing, comprehension, and speaking.
And retention.
Oh, and memory retention.
Yeah.
All of them. Well, I guess he was running for Democrat. I mean.
But, at least he's not outlandish and believes stuff like swimming is historically racist.
No, but his wife does. And you think we're making it up.
I could not believe she said that.
No, she said it. I quote, or was it, I got the quote here somewhere. Historically, swimming in America is very racist. Not just racist, very racist.
Which is funny because all of my kids' friends, whenever they're playing in the pool, they don't really look at each other's skin color.
Well, here's the thing, though. In her defense, they didn't want to live in that mansion that came up in conversation.
Well, no,
So they were given a mansion for like $1.
Yeah.
Because, he comes from a very rich family. And I don't think he actually went out and made his own way until he was like 50 years old.
That's whenever he stopped living off the trust fund.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so he's living in, the mansion that his family gave him. And according to his wife, they didn't want that mansion. The only reason they're living there is because they did want the pool, and because the reason they want the pool is because swimming is very racist in this country, and they were going to make the pool a public pool. Now, that pool just happened to come with a giant mansion and maids and butlers and all those other things.
She basically said, we wanted a pool, but it came with a mansion.
Correct.
Man, I am waiting for some of that privilege and some of that oppression on me.
Well, the good news is, I think he feels like it lets him be more like the people he's trying to.
Yeah, because he gets to be on the inside and know what it's like to be wrongfully imprisoned, because he didn't want that mansion.
No, he doesn't want it.
He does not want the mansion.
And when he watches the common man from behind his fenced-in iron rod fencing like a cage tennis court, and he sees those people mowing his lawn, and he's like, wow, look at that common man out there being, having to suffer.
I need to be more like them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So, anyway, so back to the debate.
I can't believe, though, that I forgot who it was, but there was somebody from the DNC that said that they wanted the person that agreed.
Chris Kofinas
said that they wanted the person that agreed to that debate to be fired.
Yes.
And
they felt like they should be fired immediately for even agreeing to that debate.
Timer just went off. Tell you what, the other two people we were going to talk about, we've talked about them before. Let's bring those up.
We'll bring them up. We'll put them in the big FUs.
In the FUs,
yeah.
So what do y'all think about this beer?
I like it.
I really do. There is nothing bad about it.
There's nothing bad about it.
And then once again, most time how we do the good versus bad, these are just straight Oktoberfest because we happen to like Oktoberfest.
Well, I like this one enough that I have really good hopes for the next ones that we're just going to keep getting better.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see what. Let's go ahead and do yours. Let's do the 3113.
3113.
So let's get our
Sting.
Let's get our Clucktober clinkage on. Prost, y'all. Let's take a sip.
Ooh, that's nice. I like that.
That's way.
It's smooth.
That's very smooth.
It's got a little bit of a chalky taste,
but there's no bite to it. Yeah, it is super smooth.
You know what? This is gonna be a good go back.
Yeah, this is interesting.
So since I started off on topic number 1, you wanna?
Yeah, well, just get another drink.
Do you want to go ahead and start topic number 2 here?
Yeah. So topic number 2 is gonna be a lot of fun. So
let me get the timer started. Yeezy.
So Kanye, formerly Kanye, he's Yee now.
Oh. I was not aware of that. Just
yeah, because it's the Yee from Kanye.
No, I gathered that.
Yeah. So, anyways, but he's more than just hip hop, rap, or whatever you want to kind of. Because he's kind of a mix of all of that kind of thing. But he's also, a fashion designer.
Yeah. He's got his clothing and shoes line is done through Adidas or something. He's
become very political. He's very vocal. He has been. I mean, if you remember when he first got his start, he stumbled out there on the MTV stage and took that little trophy from Taylor Swift.
We all know that this award should have gone to
all that
Beyonce.
kind of stuff. The President Obama called him a jackass. All that kind of neat stuff. Well, anyway, so his shenanigans have never really chilled out.
No, he's pretty much been on the opposite side of sane for a while.
Yeah. So
he's going to end up a cult leader.
He's talented. I think he's pushes for the cult thing. He's just very talented, and sometimes that talent comes with a little bit of craziness. Look at us. No talent, full crazy. The opposite of him. Anyway, so he recently is under fire for some anti-Semitic remarks, and just kind of lead you down to what led to that. It wasn't just the anti-Semitic remarks that got him under fire. Obviously he did a recent interview with Chris, or with whatever the Tucker guy is on Fox News.
Oh, Tucker Carlson. Yeah.
So, a lot of people didn't like that because Kanye doesn't believe in this woke stuff. He's not down with that. He's never been down with that stuff. And that throws people for a loss. And in
he's
his
not
industry,
anti-black.
Yeah.
He's very pro-black.
He's very pro-black.
But he's
very
also
proud.
very anti-woke.
Yes, he just doesn't think the woke thing. He's that African-American or black that just says, we're not victims. You don't have to call me a victim. We can stand up. We can do things. We're going to, and I agree with him on those situations. I think most people do. Unless you're in that woke scenario. So he did his little fashion show out in Paris because now it's his big thing.
The one where he showed up with all denim on? They walked down the aisle?
Well, this recent one,
red carpet,
he had Candace Owens, who was another figure in the political right, not as a politician, but just as,
political commentator.
Commentator, correct. Thank you.
And so I got the big words tonight.
Yeah, they got the big words. So they walked down the catwalk with another model in wearing White Lives Matter t-shirts. Worcestershire. So that didn't go over very well because the Southern Poverty Law Center said that White Lives Matter is actually a neo-Nazi saying, and it's white supremacy.
Right. Which is funny because he came out saying, just in an interview a couple of weeks ago, that the most oppressed person in the entire United States is a straight white male because they cannot say or do anything without having something thrown back in their face.
Yeah. Well, lucky for him, he's now in that straight white male category.
Highly talented African American music.
Only in this crazy world we live in right now
white supremacist
can African Americans be called white supremacists, and everybody goes, "Yep, that's what they are. They're definitely white supremacists. They're white supremacists. They're not black at all." Yeah, I don't know if people realize this. I'm not a black guy. I can't speak for this, but I'm pretty sure they're black all the time, not just turning it on and turning it off when Rachel people wanted to. She was able to turn it on whenever she wanted to.
Yeah, she was transracial.
Yeah, she was trans.
So anyway,
so ridiculous.
Back over with Yeezy.
Yeah, so Yeezy got himself into trouble, so he was already under scrutiny. And then one of his, I guess, tweets with P. Diddy or something that was going back and forth, he had tweeted something, and with the anti-Semitic remarks going back and forth, came out saying he's going to go DEFCON 3 on the Jewish people.
Well, that's just idiotic. But
yeah, I don't know how you save that. I mean, there's no saving that. I don't know what kind of spin you can do on it because he didn't say DEFCON, as in state of readiness. He said death con as a DETH, like Megadeth.
Wow.
DEATH.
Megadeth has no A in it.
No, I'm talking about death, like
you're dying. But he actually said DETH. So it could just be he could be like me and have fat thumbs. And just sucks at typing, but usually Siri changes it to something completely different.
Are you not doing your thumb aerobix?
No, I don't do my thumb aerobics.
First base at the Russian gulag.
Is it my first base? The ringmaster taught me that one. But yeah, so I got nothing on the Jewish people thing. I mean, it's like, dude, you're on your own that one. But the cool thing is now we have all these memes of these people who are quitting Kanye. They're like, oh, if you cut ties with Kanye today. I mean, I've seen like barbecue people doing it.
Timer just went off. So I will say this right quick. I do not agree with anything that he said regarding the Jewish people.
No.
I do believe in the First Amendment with the freedom of speech.
Correct.
I also believe that if you are going to exercise the right of freedom of speech, you also have to accept any consequences from that right of the freedom of speech.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So he said it. He loses contracts on him.
That's on him.
It's on him. The funniest thing about all of it, I know our timer ended, was
the timer ended.
Everybody, wants to hold these celebrities as up on these pedestals, And then they're like, oh, they do something. They're like, oh, now he doesn't represent me. Because you had probably most of the conservative America didn't really care about Kanye West until he started saying conservative things.
Right.
They're like, oh, look at him. And like, dude, no, he was a little off.
Yeah.
Before all this politics stuff.
He's not right. Did you hear about the fact that he's trying to like buy this land to start his own town?
Oh, dude, he's going to be a cult leader.
He's going to be a cult leader.
He's going to be a cult leader. And the reason I will never join a cult is because all cults, if you ever watch any documentaries, my wife listens to these podcasts.
They all end up a mass suicide.
They all end up as sex cults at some point, but it's only for the dude running it. All the other dudes in the cult, they don't get any.
Back up.
No.
What are some of these cults? I'm trying to. This is for educational purposes only.
So, So,
all right.
Stay out of cults, children.
Cults are bad. Okay?
Cults are bad. Okay.
Cults are bad for kids.
Let's go over to this OHB, the Oak Highland Brewery. Where's this at?
OHB, yeah,
Where's Oak Highland Brewery at? It's made in Texas. I don't know where. Probably Oak Highlands.
Oak Highlands, most likely.
Yeah.
I was going to guess.
All right, so let's get our Clucktober clinkage going on here, and let's take a sipperoo of this one.
A little bit of drinking problem there.
Have a hole in
my beard.
Have a hole in your lip.
Yeah. Put all my beard.
That's
going to be a good smell for the drive home if I get pulled over.
Like, listen, Ossifer.
First
off,
I only have 40 beers.
First off, it's hi, how are you? Not how high are you? And it's beer.
Why am I driving? I'm too drunk to walk, man. Don't drink and drive, children. We don't condone that.
We do not condone that at all.
Whiskey and Wine does
Rooster,
not condone any
card.
form of drinking and driving.
Yeah, I'm going to smell like a brewery now. It's all over my beard on my shirt.
Did you get the chance to taste any of it?
I did taste it on the way down.
Yeah. What rolled off your beard?
Yeah.
It's
tight.
All right.
I'm not
compared to the other two, it's
not a
not
fan.
up there.
I'm not a fan.
It's bitter.
But I'll tell you what. We'll do one or two of the big FUs, and then we'll do our go back from the OHB to the 3113.
Yep.
We'll make our decision between those two, and then we'll continue. Then we'll do our go back.
Sounds good.
Just like kind of like we did last time.
That's all good.
So with that being said, it is time for our favorite segment, the Big FUs. And she is not here. It 100% absolutely does not stand for follow-up.
No, it's not at all.
She tries to play it off that way.
It's not. It's the Big FU.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it really? It absolutely clucking is.
It is.
All right. So you know what? Normally we say this for later.
Yeah. You gonna start with it?
Let's start with it.
All right.
Where in the world is Kamala Harris?
Well, let me tell you where she's at, Madman.
She is at the border.
No.
She's on the border.
Well, she could be on the border of her pool. I'm not real sure.
Or she'd be ordering chips and salsa.
She could be doing that.
She could be doing that.
Yeah.
She is the border czar.
Yeah.
Maybe she's trying to get familiarized with Tex-Mex.
I just don't think that's true. I'm going to call shenanigans on the play.
I do find it funny that anytime that you type in WHER, it automatically populates.
Where is
Kamala Harris today?
Yeah.
And I would say that this is just a coincidence, but it has done it to me after I've cleared my browser and search and cache and all that. It still pops up.
Yeah. I've not tried it on the private setting.
No, I have mine on the private setting.
Those of you who know, we could be friends.
Just don't.
I feel like I'm missing something here.
It's actually a setting so you don't have to clear your browser history.
Oh, so even though I have
you just select that, man. And when you're done, you're done.
Yeah,
so done. Even though I have mine on like the private, I don't have to go in and do the clear H.
No, if it's on the private, if you're on the private browsing, you don't have to clear your history.
Huh.
You just got to hold your head in shame like the rest of America.
Well, I'm not looking up anything nasty like Overlord.
Hey,
I'm not looking up like economy ball gags or something like that.
Hey, you get them at a good price when you buy bulk.
You can buy one for $14.99, or if you buy 50, you get them for $3.99.
It's a bad economy.
Yeah,
which is according to what Biden says. It's a greatest economy ever.
Biden says
speaking of, and I know that since none of us know exactly where she's at because she just did that podcast. Did you hear that Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats have a game strategy as far as inflation goes?
Yes, it's change the subject.
Change the subject.
Yeah, so anytime the word inflation comes up, change the subject.
And the fact that she openly admits that that's the game plan.
Yeah, she'd been on Face the Nation. She did an interview on Face the Nation. And when they talked about how we gave money to everybody during the pandemic, did that increase inflation? That we're spending money like crazy. Is that increasing inflation? Our policies increase inflation. She just basically said, well, the problem is when we hear the word inflation, we just need to change the subject.
Makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like redefining recession and, it is what I don't understand. You can redefine recession like that, but you can't define what a woman is.
No, and I actually watched that documentary by Matt Walsh. So if you ever want to see it, I've got it.
All right. Yeah. It's
absolutely clucking insane.
Yeah. But back to Kamala.
So okay.
She stated on her podcast. So she did this podcast. The podcast is called Fast Politics. We don't want to leave that out there in case anybody wants to check that out. Check us.
At the rate they're going down, I'd say it's probably at least the speed of gravity.
She did say that democracy is very fragile. Okay.
It is.
It's fragile.
It's fragile.
Democracy is fragile.
I don't know if you know this.
One generation away from losing it.
Yeah, democracy is fragile. So in its fragility of democracy, we need to be aware
that it's fragile.
Okay. I'm aware.
So,
did she also start by saying...
I'm assuming that's how she did it.
Did she also start with, I'm Kamala.
Yeah.
I identify as she, her. Yeah. I
identify as a vice president.
I'm wearing a salmon-colored overcoat.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to that one. She's urged with this because democracy is so fragile that everybody needs to vote Democrat, and they need to gain 2 more seats so they can control everything.
Wait a second. Back that information train up. Beep, beep, beep. What was that now?
They need to gain 2. Everybody needs to vote Democrat so they can gain more seats so they will control everything.
So that's exactly what an authoritarian government is, like socialism, communism, fascism.
But you see, we can redefine it.
No.
As it's not. They're looking to all the great nations out there.
There's a special kind of stupid going on in the
I'm sure what
you know what? That's it. I'm clucking mad. I'm clucking mad about this.
I'm sure
there's a special kind of stupid that's going on in the vice president's office. I mean, did she just climb to the top of the stupid tree and then fall and hit every stupid branch on the way down?
Well, she climbed something.
That was a pole. Hold on. Speaking of polls, just a few years ago, we had this. This is going back to the midterm things. We had this, this light beacon of the left that was going to represent the people. AOC.
Yes, probably the least
qualified of anybody.
Yeah, least qualified and probably the least in approval ratings, least approved Hispanic politician there is
of all time. Yeah. So I don't know if you saw this, but going
she's a poll with her own with Hispanics. It's
going with
or Latinos or whatever she calls it.
Latinx.
Yeah, dude, I don't care.
You need to care.
No, I don't care anything, but I don't care what her opinion is in these things.
So you know how
she's a train wreck.
She was going to be the new hope for the new generation. She was going to be the essentially the Pepsi Cola. Have you seen her midterm town hall meetings?
Yes, they don't go well.
She is getting booed. People that were staunch supporters of her are calling her out, and one of them started chants. And in the chants that were against her, she was shrugging it off by dancing to the chant.
Yeah, it's almost like they knew they've learned that she's full of crap, like the rest of us already knew, because you voted in a bartender, and there's nothing wrong with being a bartender.
No.
But you voted in a bartender.
The lady from Colorado was a restaurant owner.
Because she says she has an economics degree. And that's great you have an economics degree. I would like to see you use your economics degree in economics.
Yeah.
And not in bartending.
Right.
Because that's great that you know how to make a great Manhattan or a good old fashioned. But
don't even get me started on old fashions.
But I don't understand how that translates into. I don't understand how that translates into Congress. Yeah, it just doesn't. I mean,
fact-
how's it translate? It doesn't translate.
There's no experience there.
Speaking of her losing the Hispanic vote, guess who is not actually losing the Hispanic vote? DeSantis, with the debate that him and Chris just did.
Yeah.
Chris was like throwing it back in his face, like, oh, you're wasting all this money sending all these people to Venezuela for a political stunt, blah, 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 blah. And he just calls him out and goes, so wait a second. If the same's being done on your side and it's a political stunt, why are you calling me out for this? Or is it because of the fact that I sent them to a place of wealth and prosperity?
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
You know what?
Which then in turn within 24 hours had all those people deported.
Before we
it's a fact. You can look it up.
Before we get to this next topic, let's go ahead and do our first go back. And then I want to tell y'all a little story about a speakeasy in New Orleans.
Okay.
All right.
So let's go from the
OHB. Yeah, you know me.
Down OHB.
To the 3113.
The 3113. I'm going to go with the 3113.
Yeah, I'm going to say the go back at least gets better.
Yeah, the go back got better.
It gets way better when you go back.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the 3113. So then
OHB's out.
So
HB's out.
We will.
Sorry, guys. Didn't work out for you.
All right. So before we get into the big FUs, or you want me to? I can tell you after though.
Well, I mean, we can just keep going. So we'll go ahead.
No, we'll go with the big FUs, and I'll tell you afterwards.
All right. So the next one coming up is
one of our favorite politicians from the great state of Texas.
Yes. The most treasured Latino son of the state of Texas, Francis O'Rourke. The fake Hispanic guy.
The only thing I can think
goes
of
by Beto. And then granted, it's a nickname. I mean, I get called Rooster, so I mean,
the only thing I can think of anytime I hear his name is Deadpool.
Yeah. So
his real name is Francis.
His real name is Francis. Well, he's been flip-flopping a lot of stuff, and of course he's out there because he's trying to be governor of the state of Texas. He showed up locally here in Flower Mound, Texas on Monday.
And that's actually where he started.
Yeah. So he visited a polling station.
And it was the only place that he was going to go in all of Denton County.
Yeah. So
wait, he drove all the way from El Paso to Flower Mound to open up.
He probably didn't drive. He probably has a private jet because the DNC is backing his campaign.
No, he probably just hopped in the back of, like one of those 50.
But don't worry. It's one of those electric solar power jets.
He probably both of y'all are wrong. He got in the back of one of those 53-foot trailers so he'd know what it's like for the illegals coming across the border.
No,
because he wants to identify with them.
So he stops.
He wouldn't use a private jet.
No, they would never do that.
No, he doesn't want that type of carbon.
Not with their carbon emissions.
He doesn't want that type of carbon footprint. Come on, Rooster, get it clucking together.
So
man.
He's from El Paso. You would think on day one of early voting, you would go to
West Texas town.
You would go to El Paso. Yes.
Did he fall in love with a Mexican girl?
I don't know if he did, but he fell in love with his Mexican name a long time ago.
Sorry, I couldn't resist the Marty Robbins.
And for those of you who don't know anything about Beto O'Rourke, he stands for hell yeah, we're going to take your AR-15 and your AK-47
and your
handguns and all your liberties and everything else. Look at me, I'm cool. I once dressed up in a dress and played in a punk band.
And a skateboard.
By the way, I've been arrested a few times, and one of those was for burglary, so let me tell you how you should defend yourself.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Never, and I don't care how you vote. You can vote Democrat, you can vote
Libertarian,
I
don't care.
But just take this one piece of advice. Don't take advice on what weapons you can defend your home with from a person who is arrested for burglary.
So here's what I just don't get. Here's what I just don't get. Everybody, you, me, Overlord, the people in this dungeon, they all agree that politicians are criminals. They're crooks.
They're all crooks.
Exactly.
So if you know the person's a crook, legally, they have a mugshot before ever getting elected. Why would you elect somebody that you know is already a crook and put them in a position of power where they can be a bigger crook?
Yeah, and they put this guy in Congress, and he did serve a term. In his first, I think, 100 days in Congress, he got in trouble financially for using his information for prosperous gains, if you will.
I didn't know that.
Yes. They came down on him hard on that one. So he only had the one term. In his first term, that was before he decided to run against Ted Cruz as the Senate a few years back. So, that was a funny one too, because you had a real Hispanic you could vote for, or a fake Hispanic you could vote for. But, the real Hispanic went by the name Ted, and the fake Hispanic went by the name Beto.
And I'm not a huge Ted Cruz.
The world's crazy. But yeah, so back to the flower mound.
Timer just went off.
So they jumped out, took some pictures, got back in the van and left.
Yeah, they didn't stay very long.
Wow.
No.
All right, so now let's do the 313 over, and then we'll do. I'm going to tell you the story, then we'll go from the Jamboree.
313, got it.
313. That's just really good.
Wow.
Oh, that's a hard one.
That's a hard one. I'm going to have to go with Jamboree on that go back.
Well, we have to go from Jamboree back over.
I know, I'm just saying, but I mean, it was a little
We're
bit
not
bitter,
used to this.
Yep.
A little bit of bitter and super
smooth.
Super smooth.
We're not used to them getting better on the go back.
No.
All right. So,
it's weird.
Story time.
Story time.
I was in New Orleans this past weekend. And I decided that I was going to get breakfast Saturday morning at a place called the Vampire Cafe. Went in, super, super cool place. I mean, like the napkins were folded like bat heads. They had like a bunch of the gothic attire. Like all of the menu and everything like that was all like vampire werewolf themed.
Yeah.
They had a gift shop next door. It was like a block south of like the big cathedral there at Jackson Square. And all of their systems goes down. People were getting mad. Was not. So long story short, because the fact that just was very understanding, the lady goes, "Have you ever been to a speakeasy?" And I looked at her and I said, No. And she goes, "Do you know what it is?" And I was like, I'm a history buff, so yeah, it was used for gambling and prostitution and alcohol during the Prohibition era. She goes, "Yeah, do you want to go to one?" And I was like, no, I'm not. I don't really want to be around the prostitution and stuff like that. She goes, "No, this one's not like that." She goes, "This one has a password, and I'm not going to say that what that password is on the air." But I looked at her and said, "Wait, what? Come again?" So she said it again. I said, "Okay, first off, I wasn't that interested. Now I am going."
That's good marketing there.
I was like, so give me the details on this. And apparently this speakeasy, some of the people that even work in this club don't even know it's how to get upstairs to it. Walked in, went back to the security guard, said the password. He just turns around and goes, "Oh, it's good to see you again." Like opens up the doors, go upstairs. Everything up there was like super cool. And the only thing I could think of, if this was a horror movie,
yeah, you're dead.
I would have been dead.
You're dead, dude.
Yeah, you're dead.
I mean,
yeah,
would it have been worth it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I had like the guy upstairs and like the nice clothes that open the door for you, like going. But anyway, so yeah, with the password like that, the only thing I could think of is that one of two things are going to happen, or three things are going to happen tonight. Either I'm going to be perfectly fine, I'm going to end up murdered, or I might actually get turned into a vampire.
Or you could find out what first base is the Russian gulag.
All of a sudden I wake up cold and like one of my kidneys are gone.
You know what? I used to really
on?
think vampire stuff was cool. I really did. I always loved the vampire stuff. And then Anne Rice wrote a bunch of books and about vampires. I made a movie with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt, and that was the downfall that led to Twilight.
With the vampire?
Yeah. And that eventually led to Twilight, where they sparkled in like diamonds, and you just ruined everything about them.
I had no problem with Interview with the Vampire. I did have a problem with Twilight, and I remember the first time I saw the trailer for it, I was like, "Oh man, this is going to be awesome!" It's been like since Blade that we've had like a really good vampire movie, and then during the trailer, I went, "I'm not going to watch that."
It was so weak.
So anyway,
yeah, it was just, I don't know.
Sparkly vampires.
So that's
and I don't think that the Twilight stuff would have happened without Interview with a Vampire being written first.
So roundabout, I got invited to a vampire speakeasy.
Sweet.
Moving right along. Let's go ahead.
Anybody bite you?
I'm not going to.
So you whispered the password. It sounded a lot like the safe word in the dungeon.
All right. So here we go. Let's do this go back on this Jamboree to the 3113. That is just so good.
Wow.
I've got my answer.
Yeah.
I've got
it's tough. It's tough.
I got my answer. I know.
Yeah.
Nope.
You might say that when something tastes this good, it's just hard.
Yes.
The way
it's pleasurable.
That's what she said. All right. So, Rooster, what you got here?
Man.
Base me. I'm a turkey.
I really, really thought I was going to go with the 3113, but no, I'm going to the Big D Jamboree.
Big D Jamboree. Okay. What did you got over there, Overlord?
Well, as we did the go backs and everything, and with the go from the Big D Jamboree to the 3113, just kind of smoother than the 3113. So I'm going to go with the Big D Jamboree.
Well, first off, apparently in the spirit of Oktoberfest, you're both wrong because the winner should be the Jamboree because it just tastes amazing.
That's what I just
That's what we just said.
Yeah, but I'm using the.
I think the speakeasy messed with your mind.
No, see the thing is I'm redefining terms.
Thank you. One party system. Got it.
Yeah, it's a one party system.
One party system. Got it. Doesn't matter what anybody else says. It's what you say.
But you know what?
Everyone's the same thing.
I'm glad that y'all just happen to agree with me.
Yeah, and honestly, I think
and none of them are bad.
No, none of them are bad.
The main reason I didn't choose the OHB, it had a little bit more of a chalky taste to me.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit more bitter.
Yeah, the bitter is what got me on that one. But
the
3113,
it tastes
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
It was that
the
being
can
said,
is way cooler.
It's more aromatic than the Jamboree.
It is, but that smoothness of the Jamboree is just.
And I love the Jamboree can.
You can't beat it.
Yeah. It does. Now the Jamboree does have the logo running or the coat of arms running.
Yeah, but I think it's actually my least favorite of the cans on this one. It almost looks like some weird Art Deco jazz fest on the front, which is not the spirit of Oktoberfest.
So I agree that
neither is the Fireman's Axe.
I agree that it's not in the spirit of Oktoberfest with the way the can looks. But in the spirit of Oktoberfest, if you read the history on it, remember it was about the radio station that first went on the air in 1948. So it's like they're combining the history of Dallas radio.
No, they've got it down with that Art Deco in that time period. So I mean,
I like it.
It's good.
But
I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
So we're gonna go with the Big D Jamboree.
Big D Jamboree.
We're gonna write that down.
Yep.
For further research later, whenever the mics are off, and there's 4 more left.
But again, you can't go wrong with any of these. If I had to pick one not to buy again, it would be the OHB.
It'd be the OHB, yeah.
Agreed.
Just because the other two are so close to being greatness.
Same price points, and
they're all kind of in that same area. Plus, this one leaked all over my beard. So that's obviously a problem right there.
No, officer, that's beard
third
oil.
beer leaked all over my beard and my shirt.
It was beard oil. You can find it at giftedchicken.com, home of all your beard, bath, and body needs. All right.
So go cluck yourself. What?
Wait, what?
What?
Who said that? I don't know,
man.
Probably that guy over there. He's a cluckhole.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to do by my family.
Cool. Oh, that's cool. You like to see cluckers naked?
Yeah.
All right, cluckheads. Thank y'all for tuning in to episode 67 of Whiskey and Whine with the Rooster and the Madman and special guest, the Overlord.
Overlord.
Who has made it to 6th base in Russian gulag.
Overlord shoves in Russian gulag, pulls that thumb out, and everybody's like, oh my God! Hips. We need the adult.
Who are you? Private. You just got promoted to general. You are now lead interrogator in Russian gulag. Bring your hand. It's like, that's the worst dentist he's ever been to. All right. Thanks for tuning in, Cluckheads. And remember, in a world full of chickens,
Be a rooster.
You're listening to Whiskey and Wine. Thanks for tuning in to Whiskey and Wine with the Rooster and the Madman, where you can catch brand new episodes every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Deep Dallas Radio on Locked and Loaded with DJ Shane Guns.
Special thanks to our sponsor, GiftedChicken.com, home to all your beard, bath, and body care needs. Veteran owner-operator right here in North Texas. Remember to pick up a bottle of Overlord's Dungeon Oil. It's 100% all natural coconut oil.
Leaves you prickly on the insides.